Hi guys, welcome back to Best Vicky Ever, and welcome if you're new here. So in today's video, what I'm going to talk about is my YouTube setup and things that you need if you're wanting to start YouTube. So we're going to get straight into it. So the first thing you'll need if you want to start YouTube is ideas. Think about what your viewers want to see, think about what you actually enjoy doing as well. That's what I do because I create content around self-care, laughter, comedy and inspiration. Those are kind of what my videos are all about, and I kind of think about ideas of how I can kind of incorporate them themes in a video. And honestly, it really is based on how I feel. So I could be in the mood to create a skit, or I could be in the mood to inspire someone or make someone laugh. It depends on what I feel like I want to produce, and also what I feel like would be beneficial for the viewers as well. So for instance, during the lockdowns I created a lot of content which I hope made you guys laugh, because I just thought, like, you know, we needed more light-hearted content. So that's when I started creating skits. I started doing like challenges, I started doing like different kind of game stuff as well, and they were really fun to do, and I feel like they were really like fun for the viewers to watch as well. So what I do as well, once I think of the idea, I plan it out. So it depends on what I'm doing. So if it's a skit, then I'll write out like the script of what I want to say. I mean, it's always subject to change, because sometimes when I'm creating the script, I'm like, and I'm filming it, I'm like, nah, I don't think that's gonna hit, and then I just take it out, or I might add something if I think of a new idea. And when it comes to like other kind of content, so if I do like a self-care video or I do like an inspiration video, what I do is kind of like plan out what I want to say. So most of them are like talking points. I don't include everything I'm gonna say, because I think that that's just, it works for me. Some people I know actually write like full-on scripts, but for me, I'm like, let me just like write talking points, might write a few notes here and a few notes there, but I don't like fully plan out every single word I'm gonna say, just because I feel like for me that's something that works for me. So you kind of have to figure out what works for you. And so what I do is I go on my MacBook, I create a folder called YouTube ideas, and this is where all my YouTube ideas are held. If we go to my comedy skit folder and we open inside, you guys will see my next skit. You thought this is exclusive content. I'm not just giving my ideas away like that, but you'll see it soon. Don't worry. And the next thing I want to talk about in terms of my YouTube setup is my equipment, which I think is a really important thing for people to know if they want to start YouTube, like how you can start off. So I use my phone just because I like the quality. I have a Samsung S10 and the camera quality, honestly, divine. So that's kind of why I use it, because I do like the look of it. I feel like it's quite good quality, so that's kind of the camera I'm using now. I might upgrade in the future to an actual camera. You can definitely start on your phone. If you have an iPhone, if you have an Android, it doesn't matter, you can use the phone if you like the quality of it. So moving on to lighting, what you can use is a ring light, and so you can get them from Amazon or eBay for about £15 to £30, depending on how much you want to spend or invest in a ring light. But starting out, I would say get one that's a bit more affordable, or you can not even use a ring light if you want, to be honest, because in the beginning I didn't. I started my YouTube channel in like February 2020, so the sun was my ring light. I used natural lighting and it did the trick. Like if you see my videos in the past, you'll see that the lighting actually looked good. So yeah, natural lighting actually does work, but you have to make sure you're recording either midday or in the morning, because you can record in the evening but the lighting won't be as well, because the sun might not be out. And I had to look at the days where I knew the sun would be out as well at times, just to make sure the lighting was on point. So yeah, in the beginning, ring lights aren't essential, but as time goes on you might want to invest in a ring light. And I was actually lucky enough to be gifted this ring light from my friend Debbie, so shout out Debbie. It's really helpful, especially when it becomes winter, the sun isn't out, you can't really use the sun as your ring light them times. So it's really good to get one if you either want to record during like the winter times or at night. A ring light just makes the quality of your videos just look a bit better. And the next thing I use in terms of equipment is a tripod. So you can also get them from Amazon or eBay, and there are very affordable prices. Some are under less than £10, some may be more than £10. It depends on how much you're willing to invest again, but I'd say starting out, definitely maybe invest in a cheaper one, just because you just want something to do the trick. And honestly, like if you really want to like be cost effective with all of this, you don't actually need a tripod. I think it'll make life way more difficult, because you can probably like rest your phone on like books or something, or like put it somewhere where like you can see your face and just record. But it's your choice. The thing about equipment, it just makes life a bit more easier. You don't have to be worrying about anything. There's a lot of like affordable prices when it comes to equipment. I'll leave some links in the description box in terms of like affordable ones. You can also do some research yourself. But yeah, equipment is always something good to invest in, but it's not a must. You can always upgrade in terms of like camera, tripod, ring light, etc. As you progress. In the beginning, you can have like more basic stuff just to like see whether you even like YouTube. And then also, because honestly a lot of these things you don't need the best stuff, especially starting out. You can get creative with it. In terms of like equipment, it is still work. It just depends on what you want to do. And so yeah, when you've thought of your idea, you've planned it out, you've got your equipment, the next thing is to record. And so recording is literally the fun part about YouTube. I think the thought of setting up and thinking of ideas is the longest bit, and editing, I'll get into that a bit later. But when you're actually recording, that's the fun bit. You get to talk to the camera. My advice would be, when starting out, just keep creating content. You'll find like you'll be able to get more comfortable on camera. In the beginning, trust me guys, you'll be making all the mistakes and that's fine. You just have to kind of keep going, and then you'll find your groove in a sense. Like, even me, like I'm still making mistakes, but yeah, it's like these things will take time, and as time goes on your videos will improve as well. And the next thing I want to talk about is editing. So I have a MacBook, which honestly is a huge lifesaver when it comes to YouTube, because it has this editing software called iMovie. And honestly, iMovie is so basic, and that's the reason why I love using it. It's not really that hard to use. You can go on YouTube and look at like tutorials if you have a MacBook in terms of how to use it, and honestly, like, very user friendly. It's very beginner friendly. There's other editing softwares which are a bit more like advanced. So there's Final Cut Pro and there's Adobe Premiere Pro, and those are, oh my goodness, I've downloaded Adobe Premiere Pro, and guys, it's me versus Adobe Premiere Pro, and the Premiere Pro is winning because I am so lost. There's so much to it. I feel like that software is really good for people who are into editing. There's so much you can do, but yeah, I'm just trying to like get used to that software, and hopefully I'll be able to like be a bit more advanced. And also, if you don't have a MacBook and you want to look for other like free editing softwares, there's a lot online. You just have to do your research. I can put some links in the description box in terms of some easy, user-friendly editing softwares you can use if you have a Windows laptop. Yeah, in terms of the way I edit is I cut quite a lot of stuff. I'll be talking, and when there's a pause like this, I'll just edit it out. So you're gonna watch this clip again, but minus the pause. I'll be talking, and when there's a pause like this, I'll just edit it out. So that's exactly how I do it. A lot when I'm talking, obviously there's natural pauses, so I just cut out all the natural pauses, or I cut out all the bits where I make a mistake. So it's a very cutty type editing style, and I like that style just because I've seen other YouTubers use that style as well, and I think it's really good because it really keeps the viewer's attention, and every time there's a cut, like, it refocuses my attention. So yeah, that's just kind of what I do, and I feel like it really does suit my video types of what I'm saying anyway. So yeah, if you can use the editing technique, or you can talk in a longer format, and that also works too, where you talk for a longer period of time but you keep the pauses in and stuff, but obviously you're going to edit out the mistakes you make, and that also works as well. So it just depends on what you want to do, how you want the video to look. But yeah, that's kind of my editing style. I feel like really does work for me. And also what I do is I use different effects. So I can do zoom in, I can do slowly zoom into my face like this. Those are the simple effects you'll find on iMovie. There's also other effects, and also you can use transitions as well, which is also on iMovie like this. And yeah, other editing softwares have different effects as well. So when it comes to Final Cut Pro and Adobe, there's more advanced special effects, so yeah, they do actually cost money. There's also free editing softwares you can use as well. Also what I do is I add music. So there's music in iMovie which you can use. The thing about YouTube is, and if you don't have YouTube you won't know this, but YouTubers will know this, if you use other people's songs inside your videos, you can get copyright strikes. In YouTube you can be monetized at a certain point, but if you are monetized and if you use songs that belong to other people, you have copyright over that song, you won't be able to make money from that video. So it's always good to kind of incorporate music that is free to use. So you can go on YouTube and type in in, I don't know, background music, no copyright, and you'll find like a lot of kind of like background music-y type stuff you can use. And yeah, there's also other kind of like websites as well you can use, but for now what I use mainly and what I'm trying to branch out of, I've used audio from iMovie, which is free, and also sometimes I've used audio that is free to use from YouTube. And the thing about editing is you'll learn so much as you go along. If you want to know how to do anything, you can literally go on YouTube and type in how do I do this in terms of editing, and you'll find it. So that's always a good way to figure out how to do stuff. And another thing you can do to help your editing is look at how other content creators edit. So in terms of YouTube, look at your favorite YouTuber and just look at it from a YouTuber perspective. Don't look at it as a consumer, but look at it as a YouTuber. Look at the way they edit, look at what they do. Do they add text? Do they use a lot of sound effects? What kind of music do they put in their videos? Don't copy them, please. That's not what I'm saying. But you can, as you look at them, you can get inspired and be like, that's a good idea, I could use that, or I could use that, or I can change it like this. You'll get inspired off it. So definitely look at the way other people edit and kind of get inspiration. Don't copy, because it might not even fit your video, because they might have a lot of zoom ins, they might have a lot of jump cuts, and that might not even suit your video. So look at other YouTubers from a YouTube perspective and just see what they do, and you can get inspired and be like, oh, that's a cool idea, oh my god, that effect was so good, oh my god, I loved how they did that. Or they use that sound effect at that point, or they added music here and it just added to what they were saying. Like, look at it from that perspective, and honestly I feel like that will help you in terms of your editing game. So when it comes to editing, what you want to do is do a rough cut first. So that means cutting out all the mistakes, or cutting out parts of it that honestly is not making the cut, because either you just feel like it's rambly or waffle, or you just don't want to include it in your video anymore. And then after that you can kind of keep editing it and doing the things that I mentioned before, so like adding music, adding special effects, etc. Then when you get to that point, what you want to do is rewatch, and then you guessed it, a rewatch. So you just want to make sure you're rewatching it, one, to see whether you like in general, like how the video is, and then two, also to see everything makes sense. So like there's no mistakes you've accidentally put, like if you added text, there's no spelling mistake, there's no thing you accidentally put there that wasn't supposed to be there. So yeah, just keep rewatching it to the point where you like it. So yeah, that's kind of my YouTube setup / things you might want to know if you want to start YouTube. Honestly, it can sound like a long process-ish, but honestly, as the time goes on, it will feel like not like work, but it won't feel, especially if you enjoy it, it won't honestly feel like work. Like sometimes, like if I edited in a day and did nothing else, or I recorded in a day and did nothing else, I would all create a thumbnail, honestly I just feel like I did nothing, because it feels like enough. Because if you enjoy it and you make it fun. Last bit of advice, if you want to start YouTube, start it. I say this all the time. I've given you the blueprint. So honestly, you have no excuse now. Literally pick up your phone and start recording, or you can get your equipment first just to make sure you actually do it. The summer's coming around the corner, the sun is out, guys, natural lighting is here. So you can definitely start recording. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, go check out my other videos that are kind of like YouTubery related. So that's on how not to give a heck and unlock your creativity, especially when it comes to YouTube. Or go check out my other video on my fun facts behind my creative process to kind of help you if you haven't seen these videos before. Or go check out any of my other videos, they're all great. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also leave a comment down below if you have any other questions, and make sure you also subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.